What's your bubble after Taco Tuesday, Chief?
All right, so today is another day, or another week, new vlog. By the way, trying out the gimbal again, giving it another shot. We'll see how well it goes. I mean, it's a lot, it's bulky as hell to be doing this with it, so I hope y'all like it. But today, let's see if I can get this in camera. All right, you see those blue drums behind us? Those are agave syrup. Yes, I repeat, agave syrup. And guess what? This week, we're not making whiskey. This week, we are making what I would call tequila. Agave-based spirits. Because again, we're in Arizona, you know. There's no way we can actually, legally speaking, make any sort of tequila. That being said, we are going to make an agave-based spirit. It's one of our kind of core limiteds, if you will. It's one of those things where we'll not constantly, but we'll occasionally do a release of an agave-based syrup. So that's what we're going to start working on, fermenting and mashing today, and we'll kind of see how it goes. This will be the first time I've even done this before, but it's supposedly super simple. So we got the syrups. Sorry, I hope I'm not being all washed out, but we got that syrup over there. We currently have our cold liquor tank up there, which is completely filled all the way to the top, 255 gallons of cold water. And then we have our hot liquor tank here set to 140 degrees with, how much water is in there? Like about 140 gallons of water, 130 some gallons of water. So we're gonna start working on mashing. We gotta basically mix in some hot water from the hot liquor tank and the agave syrup into the tank, supposedly. And I don't know about you, but it's gonna be kind of complicated to get the drums, these bad boys, it's gonna be kind of complicated. We're gonna have to lift them. Oh, sorry, still figuring out the gimbal. We're gonna have to pick them up with the forklift to bring them over here because they weigh, let me read here. They weigh, let's see, 258 kilograms. And I don't really speak kilograms, but that sounds like a lot. And I'm a pretty strong guy, but there is about 0% chance I'm lifting those up. So we're gonna forklift them over here, hopefully, and get them dumped in. Let's get started with it. Now that we have the drums off of the pallet and on their sides, you know, pick them up with the fork truck and bring them over, oh, wrong way, here. So that was something, right? That was something. Zach, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much is this the worst thing to make?
I mean, it's easy. It just sucks.
It is easy, but that was super stupid. I would rather carry grain any day of the week. Any day of the week. Well,
less janky.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, we're gonna let that dump, then we gotta rinse it out and do it again. So we'll get back to you then. Oh, this is so gross. This handle is covered in so much syrup.
But at least you got good grip balance.
Oh, yeah, that's your bubble after Taco Tuesday, Chief. Dear Lord. Alright. Now we have all of the agave syrup in there. It's mixing in with some hot water. We're pumping in the rest of the hot liquor from our hot liquor tank in order to dilute it more, because essentially right now we have agave syrup and water being mixed in, and right now the ratios, it's a little bit too much sugar for us to start adding some yeast, as well as it's a little bit too hot. So we're gonna pump in hot water because we got a little bit of hot water left, and some cold water to cool it down as well. So as we're also pumping in all of the water and everything else, if you notice here, let's see if you can pick it up on camera. I mean, that's dirty agave syrup. It's dirt and agave syrup. Doesn't really taste all that great, but there is literally agave syrup all up in here. That is what I would call a mess, and this is what I would call a dirty job. That tastes much better. Oh yeah, now that the mash tun is literally covered in agave syrup, while the water pumps in, because it basically just does it itself, we're gonna clean the mash tun and not leave it covered in sticky syrup. All right, look at how ridiculously full that is. We have officially added as much water to this as we realistically can. So now we need to add in our superfood for the yeast, some sodium bicarbonate and some calcium to get the pH balances right and get it ready for some yeast. Let's freaking go. All right, so now we need to get our starter yeast going. So basically we got about 6 cups or so of this, and our goal is to proof it down to about 2 or 3-ish bricks. Right now it's at 20, so it's really, really high because, well, we used a lot of freaking syrup in this operation. So I'm gonna dump a lot of RO water in there to try to proof it down so we can start adding the yeast to get them to start actually eating. Oh, jeez Louise. Oh, this is not a mess. Ugh. I didn't make a mess at all. You don't know what you're talking about? Mixing it up. Now let's check the bricks on this bad boy. And we are at 3 bricks on the dot. Get some, hell yeah. Gonna check the pH as well. Right now we want the pH to be at around, let's see, 2 to 4. Oh, I guess it doesn't mention the pH, but I'm curious. pH, we're at about 5 pH, so not bad at all, but let's go ahead and go grab the yeast and let's get it added in. And we're about done. Right now, the only thing we're waiting on is to actually dump the yeast starter into the mash tun, waiting on not the temp this time, because typically with whiskey we'd be stuck like waiting for the temperature to lower. Right now in this specific case, since we had to add so much water, we're not really worried about the temp per se. I'm worried about the pH, because the pH is about 5 pH, a little bit higher, or 0.5, yeah, 0.5 higher than it should be. So right now we're currently working on slowly adding in some acid to lower the pH, and then once it is good, we're gonna dump the yeast starter in there and we're gonna start fermenting. This has been a complete and utter chaos since we last filmed, cameraed, whatever you want to call it. So, last thing you guys would have seen was the yeast starter bubbling over, fermenting over. It fermented pretty heavily. Right after that happened, because I had to split it in 2 buckets, you probably saw that on camera. Right after that happened, the power went out. So I was which again, I should have, but the camera died, so you know, I didn't vlog it, but I was hand augering or hand mixing in all the mash to try to get the citric acid squared away again. Now the power just magically turned on, so hopefully I'm letting it mix for a little bit while. Hopefully we can pitch the yeast and we're freaking done for the day, because I'm out of it. It's been a day. It's been a freaking day. Finally, the yeast is pitched and we're pretty much done as far as the agave fermentation is concerned. We need to add some superfood in about a day, and then some more in about 2 more days, and then basically just let it run and ferment itself for the next few weeks. So basically we're just gonna be periodically checking up on it throughout other vlogs. But that's how we do agave here. It was a bit more of a shit show than a typical agave, because, you know, power outage, and I just feel like agave is kind of a not easy process because the drums weigh a lot. But yeah, it's been a weird day, but that's about it. This end of the vlog, as always, do those favors, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what you thought about this vlog. That's a wrap for this though. Cheers, y'all. We'll see you later.